Good morning, fellow Ambazonians. Today, na Friday, number 7 day for this month of April 2023. My name na Capo Daniel, una own countryman, Ambazonian FBI. Una welcome to our daily podcast, a program where they bring una the truth, where they bring una meaningful information, fact-based analysis for help we as we waka for this journey to our freedom, to the independence of Ambazonia. Good people of Ambazonia, we start today with a very important communique for defense. This one a notice for all Ambazonian defense groups on ground zero and all of their political leadership for take immediate action. We don't know say La Republic, it don't double a task force where they fight we for inside Ambazonia, but this one it be non-consequential in terms of their effectiveness because we fight a guerrilla warfare mixed with a retake of our territory, a liberation struggle, one of its kind, one of the history of mankind and in Africa. So we would defeat them, but our people needs to know how their task force operate. This is the main task force that is capable of living in Ambazonia. For our experience, they have doubled their time now from 1 week up to 2 weeks in any specific locality. When this task force go out, they are responsible for the burning of villages and the killing of our people and extrajudicial killing with torture and all other sorts of war crimes that you can imagine. They have a launching base in Bamenda, in the Bafut airport. That is where they carry out their major operation. They are deployed across Ambazonia from that particular area. Sometimes they receive backup from Kutaba, they receive backup from other Cameroon terrorist brigades, and they always have staging ground that are being controlled by the forces that are stationed in their forwarding post. So these two Cameroon task force have been deployed all in the Savannah states, and in some areas they have been there for over 3 weeks, and that is specifically in the great state of Bui, where they have one mission: look for General Capo of the Ambazonian Defense Forces, who is the overall commander of all the ADF forces in Bui. General Capo is the main target of their mission according to the intelligence we have. But it does not really matter, because what they do is that after they have struggled to get an Ambazonian fighter, they will then turn their anger into the population. They have been trying to stop our attack against their convoy that have been using RPG and IED attacks from the great state of Bui. So I am informing every Ambazonian who pass through that area to know that there are Cameroon terrorist military deadly vipers there. These are the terrorists that knows no mercy, respect no human rights or dignity. These are terrorists, pure terrorists. They have been deployed in the great state of Bui. All the entrance, the food shot that goes into the areas where we have the core of our forces in Ngwakang have been surrounded completely. Our forces have been doing flanking and outflanking them, but they have positioned themselves in a manner military that we can describe it as a complete surrounding of Ngwakam. They have been unable to target successfully any of our forces from the ADF core group that is with our overall commander, Lieutenant General Capo. So everybody in Ngwakang should be aware that Ngwakang have been surrounded by Cameroon terrorists. Their staging ground is just around a La Republic government school that have been banned and that is not operational in Boalai. That is a particular place where they are doing their staging ground. That means their biggest equipments have been hidden there, and that is where they remove their food and other things and deploy around the territory in Ngwakang. They are also in around the Shishong Old Credit Union. That area also have been mounted by Cameroon terrorists. In all those areas and all the gunshot, especially gunshot that bike can pass, consider them as imminent danger. Our civilians should avoid those areas, especially boys and women of fighting age. Those areas are a death trap for our civilians, and also our soldiers are already aware. So we want to let our people know that this is a situation around that area. Also, in the great state of Momo, La République du Cameroon have deployed their own core group there that is being led by one of their captain, who is a terrorist. It's a Bulu Beti guy that have worked closely with their former general who was in Bamenda. He's the one leading their particular group. They have already been in Momo for over a week. Our forces have been battling them, and we want to put out this information so that our civilians should understand and know what is going on. The main highway from Bali to Batibo have been completely trapped and completely ambushed by the Cameroon occupation terrorist forces. Our forces are already aware, and they are battling them in that particular area. Their main staging ground is around the Presbyterian Church in Bonji. You remember Bonji Station that was attacked by the Akamanso forces. That is where they have put their staging ground, from where they have their material and their resupply of their forces that have already been ambushed in ambush position around Momo. Our people around from Way Station there, they have some of their soldiers are stationed in Way Station. They have also implanted themselves in the bushes. You have around the Mbonji village. Many areas in the Mbonji village have also been ambushed. They are in ambush position there. If you from that area also going towards Njinin, have also been ambushed. That from in Gozang also have been ambushed. So basically the whole Batibo Bali Road should be considered a red zone, and our people on the ground should know what it means. It's a red zone, and it's an active area where Cameroon terrorists are currently taking position in the bush, and our forces will eventually prevail. Their operation usually lasts for 1 week, but since this year they have adapted a new strategy and be able to resupply themselves using sometimes helicopters, so they can stay for over 2 weeks. But we should always know that they can even stay more than that when that day will come. But even if they stay more than that, we know that we already have adapted ourselves to this situation, and we'll fight them. The more they stay, the more we'll be able to map them out and seize more guns from their hands. So it's something that we have to live with. But one thing our population should know is that after they stay for this long time and they are unable to get their target of specific Ambazonian soldiers and leaders on the ground, which we know they have shown their pictures around town, what they do is they will turn back against that community and start burning villages. Burn villages, kidnap some few individuals, and they'll just disappear like that. So everybody in this area in Bui, everybody in Bali, Batibo area where I've mentioned the name, it is better to live and hide in our caves and in our farmhouses where you can be safe. All valuables in the house around those areas should be removed for safekeeping, because we know that the Cameroon military are not just terrorists, they are also thieves. So our people should take measures to counter all this incursion and ongoing Cameroon war of subjugation in our territory. There have been also an incident in the Bamenda main market that I am not particularly happy with. Our people in the market apprehended a thief that was in possession of a gun, and the person was being beaten up, and eventually the population turned towards the colonial military that was nearby to come and pick up this thief and go away with him and his weapon. I'm going to put out the video that is coming out from the main market. This is a breach of our security. Why? Because when it involves arms, it is the Ambazonian forces that must intervene. Our people in the market, they are aware of my number. They are aware of our soldiers. They know our soldiers who are their children. They should have called the Bamenda brigade of the ADF to come there and pick up this guy and take away the gun. But instead, the colonial government came there and they took away the gun, and the guy probably will be killed, as they always do their extrajudicial killing. But this is a breach of security, because what if this was a soldier who was now transforming himself into a thief? That would be very problematic. And tomorrow the Cameroon vigilante may use this type of thing to disguise themselves and target our forces. So our people have to be very, very careful. No civilian should take an Ambazonian thief or any child of Ambazonia with our own internal problems and hand it over to the enemy. All those who were involved in this particular case must have to come in for interview. They must be interviewed so that we will investigate and see where the mistakes were made by our people in Bamenda main market. But this is a warning to everybody in Ambazonia. Do not hand any case that involve arms to La République du Cameroon occupation forces. That is a breach of national security and has the potential of causing serious ramification on our forces that are protecting the interests of 8 million Ambazonians. So those people who were involved in main market, they should come in for questioning so that a proper investigation can take place and our population should know what to do in such instances. Fellow Ambazonians, I want to apologize for the show I was supposed to make, the tax summit, which is going to be done on my platform, on my YouTube channel and Facebook page. We have been knocked out of Facebook page. The program could not have gone as planned. So I will be doing that taxation summit again. I'm inviting all Ambazonians who want to participate. Those who want to participate on video can contact me early enough. And those who want to call in or participate on the comment section on my YouTube channel, they should also do so. We must all be able to come around best practices and make sure that policies that are adopted by one organization, in this case the Ambazonian Governing Council, should be emulated. This should be emulated. It is the best policy so far. The tax policy is the best, and every Ambazonian should pay their tax. It's their civil duty. Is a way to assert our authority and our statehood, and it must be adopted by everybody. A lot of community have called me and they are inviting ADF to come and collect tax. And we also have to bring up collective ideas so that our people have the ownership of this policy. Some people want that their receipts should also be seen as an ID card. Those receipts have to also have been codified in a manner where they can be tracked and traced, not just for accountability, but to make sure that it can be used as reference. If an Ambazonia is somewhere, you have problem, you can point to your receipts. Tomorrow, everybody will see the use of these things. So see you tonight or tomorrow night. You know we are at war, so we don't just work according to the time. Things come up sometime and we have to focus on those things. And another news that is coming from the diaspora, this time in Ghana. The Ambazonian community in Ghana have put out a message to me that states that the Ambazonian refugee community in Ghana have held an electoral congress on Sunday, the 5th of March, respecting the constitution mandate that witnessed the smooth transition of Mr. Akere Divine, the outgoing country head, to Mr. Emmanuel Kecha Ngang Ambe, the newly elected, with an executive installed. That means say our people, the way they did for Ghana, they don't get election for get a new president with a country head. And I don't take note of this, and it don't be communicated to all Ambazonians as well. But I want to point out to our people that the danger we have in our revolution, and these are very good community leaders. I've been in contact with all of them. Akere is a very wonderful leader who have been working well with our refugees, and he has also been assisting every Ambazonian who come to Ghana. The last time in my mission to Ghana, I met him and his entourage. It was a wonderful time to know about the community, and now they're having problems with Ambazonians being tricked and scammed to come to Ghana. So we will highlight all these things that are being faced by the Ambazonian Ghana community. But what I want to point out to our people is the disguise of groups that hide their partisanship. This is not just inconsistent with my nature as Mr. No Koni, but this is very good for Ambazonia. Each time you find people who wants to organize group under Seseko Ayoktabi or under the IG, they will always disguise themselves as a neutral group and say that they are Ambazonian group. No, they are not IG group, but when you look at it, you see that it is IG group. And they will use this to bring people in that group without letting the people know that they are in support of one of the faction or one of the group or not. And this is a deception. It is not a right thing to do. Every group must disclose their allegiance. If you are a president in a group and you support one group, you should say you support that group. If that group is not competent enough, is not doing the right thing, that you are ashamed to stand for that group, then you should not be supporting that group in the first place. So many IG groups, they don't call themselves IG groups anymore. They will hide and say that they are neutral groups or they are NGO, they are whatsoever, because they know that the IG is not popular anymore. And most of the things we have heard from them is scandalous, and it's a group that have only been known with division in this our struggle. People who are putting their group ideology ahead of the country. So many of these groups are IG group. Ambazonia is divided ideologically. The groups that are IG groups, they call themselves country heads. So no matter whether you see them pretending to be something else or not, when you hear country head, know that it is IG. Ambazonian forces also have ideological differences. When you see those who call themselves ARF, they are IG groups, or the IG align, and you have the ADF. Some of the groups that are neutral, they will force them to use the name ARF because they want to associate them, to force them into the IG. And some of them will take this name without even knowing, because we are people who are full of corny. So if you are not an IG force, don't call your name ARF. ARF is a force under SACO, created by SACO, and the overall commander was Eliva Leke, who is of late. So you must know yourself. If you want to be independent, you cannot call yourself an IG. You cannot call yourself a restoration force or an ADF. If you want to be a group that organized for Ambazonians, for every Ambazonians, you cannot call your leader there a country head, because that name is for IG group only. It is their group name. So our people should know, and they should be very careful. If they want to come in together to form an Ambazonian community, they should just form an Ambazonian community and make it to be neutral and integrate themselves in the struggle or support all other factions. But if the IG wants to create themselves, they should not hide behind Ambazonia or this so-called thing that they are the government when they are not. So I just want to bring this to our people to understand that even though the group in Ghana, they are saying that they are not IG group, they are IG group who hide themselves like this. And eventually they will show that they are IG group in action. So we have seen this across the globe. Refugees also in Biafra and in Nigeria. The IG leaders, they'll claim to be neutral group to attract people there, because they know that people may not want to join IG. So they'll just say that they are a neutral group, they are Ambazonian group. All this corny do not benefit anybody, and it should stop. We should be clearly identified by who we are. If you are IG, say you are IG. If you are ADF, say you are ADF. If you are SACO IG or IG number 1, IG number 2, say IG number 1, IG number 2, or IG number 3. It should be very clear, so that scammers will not hide behind generic name to impose themselves or assert themselves in places that you do not even know. So fellow Ambazonians, let's keep our heart crossed and pray for our people and engage them. I'll also be talking in the live show about the All Ambazonian Conference that the pre-tour have already started. The leaders were supposed to move into our various countries to meet the people before the All Ambazonian Conference will start. The first pre-tour have taken place in Canada, and only the Ambazonian Governing Council have showed up with Julius Nee, the Vice President of the AGOF-C. The IGK of Yerima Ayoktabi, Nana, then disappear. The consortium of Jomba Akoro, we understand the situation in that group, but they could appoint a delegate, but they did not. The group of Ebenezer Akwanga, the same. So if we are coming together, and some people are afraid to come because they think that it will project other people, where are we heading to? So see you tonight or tomorrow for an in-depth taxation summit by your own humble servant, your own countryman, the man we don't know Connie, in the fear eye, in the fear face, Capo Daniel, for an exclusive and comprehensive discussion of ongoing issues within our liberation war. God bless you all.